Well, y'all, I don't know if you know it, but today's May 7th. It's my birthday. I'm not telling you how old I am, but it's my birthday today. And everybody wanted me to bake a cake for my birthday. Well, I don't need a whole cake. You know, that's for lots of people. So I'm going to cut my recipe in half. And I'm going to use one of these little pans to cook my birthday cake in. I'm not sure which one yet. I'll wait till after I get it all mixed up, and then I'll decide which one I want to grease and flour and put my cake in. So first off, and I am going to use my little mixer, my hand mixer, because the big mixer is too big, and it's got like a reservoir in the bottom where I think most of my mixture will settle, and it's not going to mix it up real good. So I'm just going to leave the big mixer over there, and I'm going to use this small one for this. It's about wore out, and I love my new mixer, but like I said, I'm going to make such a small quantity that I'm just going to go ahead and use my mixer for this. So first off, I'm going to add my dry ingredients first. I got to get 1 cup of flour. Now, mind you, this is half a recipe. I'll put it right in there so I can get it measured. I think that's going to be it. That is 1 cup of flour. And that is self-rising flour, y'all. I'm going to put in about a half a teaspoon of salt, and I'm just going to eyeball it. That's good. I'm going to put in 1 cup of sugar, and this takes confectionery sugar. No, wait a minute, it doesn't. It takes the regular sugar. Let me get my regular sugar. I was thinking about my icing that I'm going to make. It takes confectionery sugar, but my cake batter takes regular sugar. So I'm going to get 1 cup of white sugar. Nobody does sugar and stuff like me, but you know, hey, this is Texas. We got these incredible ants out here that will not let you alone. So we got 1 cup of flour, self-rising flour, 1 cup of white sugar, about a half a teaspoon of salt. We're going to need 1 egg. We're going to need about 1/3 cup of water. I think that's it. 1/3 cup of water. We're going to need a 1/3 cup of buttermilk. And I had that buttermilk for some other recipes that I had. A 1/4 cup of shortening. And I've already got a little bit of water in there. Milk in there, so, but that's a 1/4 cup. Go ahead and wash that out. A half a tablespoon of vanilla. And I'm just going to use this half a tablespoon of vanilla. I'm going to have to get a dry measuring cup because that one is wet and I don't want my cocoa to stick to it. I'm going to get 2 ounces of cocoa powder. Now you can use 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate melted, or I'm going to use cocoa powder because I keep cocoa powder on hand, or I don't keep usually semi-sweet chocolate. Now how much did I need? 2 ounces. And that's not much. It's about kind of almost like a quarter a cup. That's it. 2 ounces of cocoa powder. And I got my shortening in there. Let's see. Go back over my list. I got 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of white sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 cup of water, 1/3 cup buttermilk, 1/4 cup shortening, 1 egg, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 ounces of cocoa powder. And I don't remember if I put my water in there. Well, we'll see how it is when I mix it up. If it needs liquid, I'll add water. And I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. And this is the best chocolate cake you'll ever make. I mean, I may not even use my hand mixer until I get to my frosting. Yeah, I think I will though, because some of this is go ahead and move that over. And you just want to mix it until it's smooth. This is supposed to get your beaters out, mashing that button down, but they're not. There they go. And I'll put this over here till I get ready for my icing. I'm going to go ahead and rinse these out because I've got to use it again to make my little bit of icing that I'm going to use. I'm just going to swish this in some soapy water now. Put them right there to dry while I finish my cake. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to use this pan. Oh, I got to heat the oven to 350. Go ahead and do that while I grease my pan. And let's see, I found a trick, you know, if you don't want to get your fingers all gooey with Crisco or lard or whatever you're going to use to grease your pan, get a paper towel and get it on the towel, and then go around your pan with the paper towel, and you won't get so much of that grease or lard on your fingers, but you'll get it in all the places you're going to need it in this little pan. Now what I'm going to do as well, you know, you don't have to do this, but it's just an added little bonus to keep your cake from sticking to your pan. Just put in a little bit of flour and shake it around your pan. Get it all around the edges. Try to put your flour basically wherever your oil is, or your lard, or your Crisco, or whatever you grease your pan with, is that. That helps keep your layer from your cake from sticking to the pan. And then just get the excess out like that. We're going to go ahead and put our mixture in our pan. I basically did half a cake recipe, so it should be enough for one layer basically. So that's why I decided to put it in this pan. It'll make a cute little cake, I think, for a birthday cake. Kind of made a mess over here. But this is something you can do if you want to cook a cake, but you don't want to have a whole big cake, you know, you just make a half a recipe. And I'm hoping this is not going to run over the top. And I probably will get a cookie sheet to put it on just in case. I can find my big cookie sheet. The one that looks terrible. I started to go out and buy a cake, and I decided no, I just baked one. But the whole cake you leave in there for 40 to 45 minutes. I'm thinking this may not take quite as long. So I'm going to cut the time down to about 25 to 30 minutes. Check it and see. But it'll be at 350. I'm going to set my timer for about 22 minutes. And we're going to put our cake in the oven. And I'm hoping it doesn't overflow in the pan, but that's what I got the pan there for, just in case. Now, when that timer goes off, I guess I can bring you back. We didn't need to use this one. That one would have been way too small. But I'll bring you back, and as soon as I can get the cake baked, which will be in about 20 some minutes, or 20 to 30 minutes, somewhere along in there. Or I may just keep you on here, I don't know. But I have to clean up my mess because, you know, I don't want all this dirty here for when I take the cake out and mix up my icing. Because I'll need my measuring cups and everything else to use when I go to make my icing. But it's just a way of showing you. I mean, this is the neatest drain board because you can basically put it anywhere on your counter as long as you can turn the spout to where it leaks into the sink to drain. I had never seen one like that, but one of my subscribers sent this to me, and I've been enjoying it. But now, we're going to be putting this stuff up because we don't need it anymore. And I know, you know, hey, it's my birthday. I shouldn't be baking my own birthday cake, right? But leave that there. But I just felt like a nice chocolate cake. And this recipe I have found is one of the best chocolate cake recipes you can find. It's really good. And I don't think I'm going to be using chocolate or this or this or this. Well, yeah, I will be using that. But I'm not going to be using this other stuff, so I can go ahead and put that away. But this is a great way if you live alone or if it's just you and your husband, you know, just a couple of people that you want to cook for, and you want a nice chocolate cake. Well, hey, just take your recipe and cut it in half. Just like I've just done. And I'm going to bring you back when the alarm goes off and lets me know that my cake has been in the oven long enough. And we'll see how it goes. Well, y'all, my timer went off and I set it for another 10 minutes. So my cake has been in the oven baking for at least 35 minutes. And I think it's done. It is definitely done, but it's got to cool. And while it's cooling, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can mix up the icing that's going on it. First of all, you'll need half a package of cream cheese. And there's, 8 ounces of cream cheese in a whole carton. All you need is half. You only need 4 ounces. That's a hard piece. That is if I can get into my package here. I'm going to go ahead and get this cream cheese out because it's not completely warmed up yet. But there you go. I got half of a box of just regular cream cheese. That's all it is just cream cheese. So I'm going to let that soften. And I'm going to let my cake cool off. And we'll bring you back as soon as my cream cheese is softened and my cake is cooled off. Because we can't put icing on the cake when it's right out of the oven and hot. So we'll get right back with you. Okay, y'all, I got my cake cooled. I got it flipped upside down on my plate. And now we got to make our icing. I had to run to the store and get some milk because I thought I had a couple of cans of milk and I was out of milk. Don't need much for this recipe, but I didn't have any. Uh-oh. I just lost the pan. Well, that was just the pan that I put my cake in to keep it from, you know, going over into the stove. So it's all right. I'll get it later. Things like that happen in the real kitchen, don't they? Especially when you're cramped up like I am. Now, first of all, we're going to need the half a package of cream cheese, which is in there. I need 1/2 tablespoon of milk. And I'll need a half teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm just going to measure it in this and put a little dab in there. A dash of salt. And 1 1/4 cup of confectionery sugar. That's a cup. I do want to try to soften my cream cheese up just a little bit. I'm not sure how I want to do that. I need to soften it or flatten it out a little bit. I'll just take my spoon and do it for right this minute. I'm going to add my cup, and we need another 1/4 of a cup of confectionery sugar. Whoops. And I'm going to try to mix it up just a little, or I might be able to do it completely with my spoon. I don't know. I'm almost afraid if I put my, I'm gonna need just a tiny bit more milk in there. You can add milk as you need it to soften up your, mix up your cream cheese in your sugar. I'm going to go ahead and put the mixer on it, I think, right now, since I got part of that mixed up. This off my fingers. Because it's a little difficult to try to mix it up with your hand. So I'm going to try the mixer, and I hope I don't throw it all out all over the kitchen. That is not in there properly. Maybe it was. I'm going to try this anyway. I'm going to need just a little bit more milk. Don't put too much because you know how confectionery sugar is. But this is such a small amount, I didn't want to get the big mixer out because I think the little mixer does better for it. And you just want to mix it until it's all mixed and it's smooth and you're able to frost your cake with it. Now let's see. We're going to put some frosting on our cake. And I'm not sure how to do it really. I'm going to start with just putting it around the top. Oh, that chocolate smells so good. My favorite cake is chocolate. And this is cream cheese icing on it. Oh my goodness, y'all. I mean, you can frost it however you like. I kind of like for it to run down the side of it. And I may have cooled my cake off a little too much because it's not really running down the side, but I can make it do that. There you go. I mean, I may end up just taking a knife and frosting the whole thing and not even doing this, but I want to see how this will look first. I've always thought that's kind of neat the way you put it on there and it just kind of drips down. And I'm going to let some go down in the inside of it. Just like the outside. Or I may just do the whole inside. That sounds like a plan. Just kind of put the icing all around the inside of it. I think I like that. Get it on the back side of my spoon to get it in there. Go all the way to the bottom. How's that for a birthday cake, y'all? You can see it's frosted completely on the inside of the hole, on the inside of the cake like I wanted it. And it's just kind of draped down over the outside. It's a little different. But you got to have your cake cold to do that. You can't have it hot. And, let's see. Gotta have candles for my cake, y'all. But I'm not going to put as many candles on this cake as I am old, that's for sure. I'll just put some around it so it looks good. Because I got to blow these things out tonight. Make the thing pink and blue. Get me another pink one. I don't even know how many's on here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 candles. But that's definitely not how old I am. So there you go. You're not going to see this video till tomorrow because my birthday is tonight. And I'll go live tonight and light the candles for my birthday. I'll light the candles for the birthday cake tonight. But you'll see this on Friday. This how I made my cake. So there you go, y'all. There's my birthday cake. See you later. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now. Love y'all.